All right, welcome back, Saints fans. So, starting a new tradition here for the 2019 season. Every week, we're going to do a pregame show, a postgame reaction show, which we started last year, and then the team postgame show that we'll do a couple days after the game. So, you guys will get at least 3 podcasts every week, and if we can work any bonus shows in, we'll definitely do that. So, for today and the pregame shows, it's going to be rapid fire, same topics every week, and then we're going to finish it up with each of us making our prediction for the game as far as wins and losses for the team. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start it off with Patrick. What is going to be your "I told you so" moment for Week 1?
Okay, I want them to prove me wrong, but we know, even though that they just traded for, was it Jeremy Tunsil? Is that how you say his name?
Laramie, I think.
Laramie.
Oh, Laramie.
Yeah, Laramie.
Laramie. Okay. Even though they traded for him, their O-line is still pretty weak. But it is Week 1, and even though they have a weak O-line, you're being wrong. I have a feeling they're not going to get pressure. So, okay, that's mine.
All right. Pessimistic Patty says no pressure. What about you, Chris?
I'm gonna go with the performance of Latavius Murray. I know simply because of emotional ties, and we won't just leave it there. The overall productivity of Mark Ingram, the running back, and the overall leader that he became for New Orleans on and off the field, just something that it's hard to kind of get away from and have to put that passion into another running back or to another person on the team. You couldn't teach the level of chemistry that Ingram, Kamara, and some of those other guys had together. But I think that emotion is what has helped a lot of Saints fans and watchers, writers, whatever you want to, Saints media kind of discount the impact of what Latavius Murray can end up bringing. What he's done in some of the places in the past with, surrounded by less superior talents, whether it's offensive line, quarterback, whatever you want to point at, everything is better in New Orleans. And yeah, man, I think that a lot of people are going to be surprised that what he can do on the field as a pass protector, out of the backfield, catching the football, and his ability as a runner. I was high on him for the minute that they signed him, even though we all wanted Mark to return. And I think him coming out and having a big game is going to be one of the things that, at least for me, makes me say, I told you so.
All right, so you're going to say Murray's going to ball out.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm going to say my "I told you so" moment. I'm going to say Saints skill position players other than Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, and Jared Cook give us pretty much nothing.
Okay.
Go on.
You're going on a stretch there, man. Really putting yourself out there.
It's an "I told you so" moment, not a hot take.
I know. All right, next one.
So who is going to be your "oh, he's for real" player of the game?
Patrick, you go first.
This won't be a surprise, but I think Von Bell is going to really ball out. He came on really at the end of last year. He's been looking great this preseason. I think he will cement himself as the best secondary player behind Lattimore this year.
I like that. I like that a lot.
All right, your turn.
My guy is Deontay Harris, the Saints' new number 11, and their new kickoff and punt return specialist. I think it's, it's
You
hard
say
a
he's going
lot
to
of
run
times
one back?
I don't know if he's going to run one back, but I do think he will have at least one punt return for at least 30 yards. He'll have at least one kick return for over 40 yards. I think that guy is that explosive. He's that shifty, and Brian opened me up to the some of the flaws of Tommy Lee Lewis, just from the perspective of your ability, especially as a punt returner, catching the football and making someone miss. And while I always respect the Tommy Lee Lewis's, like his speed and some of his shiftiness, some of his ability to be agile in small spaces, he can't do what this guy can do, like immediately. And it's not even just as soon as he catches the ball. He can make one jump and his mind can be telling him to go right. He's already all the way there. Tommy Lee didn't have that ability from a shiftiness perspective, even though his size would lead you to believe that he'd be able to perform in that manner. And I think Deontay Harris is that explosive. I think he's that good. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sean has him out there for a few offensive snaps. Like I think they are really going to use this kid. He's going to make a big difference in the return game. And I think he'll start it out in the Dome on Monday.
All right. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with the easy one on this one. Is Jared Cook.
Okay.
We didn't really get to see him in preseason, especially not with Drew. Right now, he's an idea. But by the time him and Drew Brees are done with the Texans, everybody in the league is going to go, oh, he's for real. The Raiders weren't a fluke. He finally got in a halfway decent offense with a halfway decent quarterback. He's had one, but never both at the same time until last year, and now he's got a whole hell of a lot better than halfway decent in both regards. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to ball out week one.
Yeah.
I'll say more than 5 catches, more than 80 yards, and at least 1 touchdown.
I like it. All right, next topic. Okay.
So, going right off of that, what's the thing that's going to drive you crazy?
Well, I said something earlier about, not on the show, but on Twitter, about Andres Pete. He's like the reverse of the old woman from The Notebook. Like, he's mostly there, but every once in a while he just loses it and forgets how to play football.
So like The Notebook, it's the playbook?
Yeah. I mean, he totally forgets. It's like he totally forgets how to play football, and it's like all of a sudden his limbs go wild and you just see him, like, stumble or something. I don't know if it's his mechanics or he just stands up too tall out of the stance or something like that, but it's just a couple times a game you're just like, oh my gosh, Pete. And then he'll make those, like, pancake blocks and, like, totally flatten somebody. And I just wish he was more consistent. But, yeah, that's my pick.
So you're just going to say Andres Pete in general?
Andres Pete is going to have a couple of snaps where he looks like he doesn't belong in the football field at all.
Okay. Chris, what's going to drive you crazy?
I am looking at Dennis Allen here with this one. Okay. And I think that even with the Texans acquiring Laramie, Tunsil, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Laramie,
yeah.
Jeremy Tinsel.
with them being able to acquire him over about a week ago now, or some change, or sometime however long it's been since he's been a Texan. I think that definitely is going to improve the offensive line, but I know me and you talked about it, Patrick. I still think that the offensive line in total is still a work in progress. And even with the Saints having injuries at defensive tackle, it should be a matchup that the Saints should not just win. They should be able to overpower and dominate.
They should. The only reason I said that is because I just want them to break the jinx of the past few years where the defense is coming out looking like ass and then them getting good.
But this is what's going to drive me crazy, because with that, I think the Saints should be able to overpower them. I think you shouldn't be. I mean, you can run a stunt tour here. You know, I know Dennis Allen is going to come out with zone blitzes. But what's going to drive me crazy is in a game against a team in which you're going to have to get after Deshaun Watson, in which you should want to get after Deshaun Watson and get after him early. I can see Dennis Allen coming out too cute, a la the Ravens game, where Cam Jordan is sitting in fucking coverage in crucial parts of the game, so where nobody can fucking explain it. The whole point is to get this damn team off the field. We have our best pass rusher in a fucking flat zone. Why? That's going to drive me crazy because I know it's going to happen at some point.
It sounds like it's already driven you crazy.
Well, hey,
I mean,
if Rankins didn't drop back into coverage in the Steelers game, we don't win. So,
whatever, man.
It's true.
Well played, Patrick. So I'm going to say what's going to drive me crazy. You know what? What's going to drive me crazy is Saints Twitter.
Oh,
because there's going to be so much hyper reactionary BS. No matter what direction the game goes in, if we beat the brakes off of them, 16-0, Death Star, fuck the world. If we lose the game, we're going on 16, man. It's 2014 all over again. If the game is close at any point, even at the 15-minute mark of the first quarter, it's 0-0. Man, what are we doing? Like, this is just going to be one of those games where no matter what happens, Saints Twitter is going to drive me absolutely apeshit. And I fully acknowledge I'm probably going to be part of the problem.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was just about to say. You're public enemy number one on that one, baby.
I'm definitely not going to be number one, but I probably will make the top 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, Saints Twitter is going to drive me apeshit. I'm probably going to contribute. No, I'm definitely going to contribute to the chaos. But going from there, so what do you think is the most important matchup for our offense? Patrick,
okay, before I answer that, you can mute people that you follow temporarily on game day, and they don't have to
mute themselves.
Yeah, but then I have to remember to unmute them.
It's not a problem for you. Anyway, okay, matchup on offense. I'm going to have to say I don't know who. I'm not all that familiar with the Texans defense. But until you show me that you have someone that can do it, I don't see how they're going to slow down Kamara. I mean, to me, okay, so
they traded away the only guy that would really help them do it.
Yeah, you know, Brian's right. Our skill position players on offense, it's Kamara, Thomas, and Jared Cook, right? But just Thomas and Kamara by themselves showed last year they could still get it done, and teams have a hard time stopping it still. And you add in Jared Cook, and you just get one more guy to do a little bit something in a healthy O-line. That's a really hard offense to stop. But if you don't have anybody to at least like sort of semi-contain him, Breeze is going to have the time and the protection that he's just going to eat that shit up. So I think that's the most. Yeah.
So what you're saying is he'll be able to focus on the football. Anyway, so my most important offensive matchup, I did went over you guys' head. My most important offensive matchup will be, it has to be Ramczyk versus J.J. Watt.
Damn it.
I mean, and it's just, listen, right? I have this thing in my head, okay? Anytime I see a text of J.J. Watt destroying Zach Street in a game from, I believe, 2016?
I know which one you're
And he
talking
was
about.
mic'd up.
This was in the
Mic'd up
preseason.
for this game. No, that's not the game I'm talking about.
No, it was during the regular season.
You're talking about the one where you said we need a new right tackle, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was
wasn't
preseason.
preseason. That was the middle of the year almost.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And it was in Houston.
Poor Zach.
And he humiliated Zach Street. Told Drew that he needed a right tackle. He told, and I forgot, I think it was ironically Andrew Speed that gave him a pancake at some point in the game. And he told him, good hit, not shatter me. That's worth something for you, Patrick. But, I mean, he told Drew how much he liked him. He hated having to do that to him. He dominated that game. And with them no longer having Jadeveon Clowney, I mean, I respect Whitney Merciless that they have on the defensive line. I think they still have Brooks Reed. I think they still have Brooks Reed. I mean, I do recognize that there is some talent worth talking about on that defense. But if they're going to be able to disrupt New Orleans, they're going to be able to win the game, they're going to have to do it. And they're going to have to start with their defensive line. And if the Saints are able to neutralize J.J. Watt, I don't know what Houston is going to be able to do defensively, minus, a few individual plays or a few exotic blitzes here or there. But that's pretty much where it's going to start. And when you beat New Orleans, that's how you end up beating them 9 times out of 10. Your guys just simply being better than our guys.
Yeah, I think a lot of football games are won that way. I have to do some research stuff.
Sorry,
smart ass.
You know what I meant. But,
I know.
You stole mine, so I'm going to say it's going to be Marshawn Lattimore versus Michael Thomas's evolved form. That's
what?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, okay.
If Lattimore, he's not going to shut down DeAndre Hopkins. If he does that, I'm going to be crazy impressed.
Well, no, this is a
But if
matchup
he
on
can
offense,
make
right?
it so that DeAndre Hopkins is inefficient and doesn't impact the game, I don't care what his numbers look like, but doesn't impact the game, I think we win. Oh wait, we're talking offense. I'm an idiot.
Okay, well, go ahead and get your offense off, and then we'll just wrap up.
I'm a complete dumbass. I'm gonna go with the same guy I said earlier. I think the most important offensive matchup is Jared Cook versus the Houston Texans linebackers.
Okay.
No,
well,
fair
hey,
enough.
it's our first show with the new format, so all is forgiven. I'm going to say the most important matchup on us for defense is not really one person against a specific player, but I think if Demario Davis is playing with his hair on fire like he has this preseason and last year, I think we'll be fine. Because in years past, even though we may have had some good guys in the secondaries and maybe some good guys on the defensive line, we've been a trash heap of, duty in the linebacker position. I couldn't think of a better analogy, but somebody, I think it was Brian Baldinger. He said, if you have slow linebackers, you got a slow defense.
Yep.
And then we actually have athletic linebackers.
Very true.
For the record, all three of us said that in the past too. So he's slick, Baldy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a common saying. But yeah, I think, this defense, this preseason they've really impressed me. I mean, they haven't been going against great competition, but they're on the same page. They're not confused at the snap. They're flying the ball to get fundamentals. Nothing's getting over the top or anything. I mean, it's the pressure picked up a little bit later in the preseason. That's probably what worries me slightly, but the defense as a whole has impressed me. So, but I think Demario Davis is going to be the key.
Fair enough. How about you, Chris?
Well, I know you said that the D-Hop matchup, and I'm with you there. But I guess I'm not 100% sold that Marshawn will be guarding DeAndre Hopkins. And the reason I say that is because of some of the ways that Dennis Allen has chosen to guard guys like Odell and Julio Jones by putting the second cornerback on them and maybe bracketing them. Now, I mean, once Eli Apple got there, he kind of gave Eli more free reign than he gave, said, a Ken Crawley. So I guess what I'm curious about, I mean, if it is Marshawn, great. But I want to see how they will choose to defend him. Will they bracket him? Will they look for other guys to beat them? Because if you do, I think the Texans do have guys, if they're on the field, if they're healthy, that can beat you one-on-one. So
that's fair. I mean, Will Fuller is a problem.
Yeah.
We all know what Kenny Stills can do.
Yeah, exactly. So, will they choose to just man D-hop up, with Marshawn and put their best cornerback on the best receiver, or will they play more of a team style scheme in regards to him and their array of weapons that they have?
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. Start with Patrick again. Player of the game. Who you got?
Ellen DeGeneres. No, sorry, I was supposed to save that joke for later.
No, if anybody doesn't get that, just check Twitter.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be non-creative, and I'm just gonna say Drew Brees. I think he's focused. That little bit that we saw of him in the preseason on all the reports from camp, he looks spot on. I think he's gonna put on the clinics. I mean, Monday night in the Dome, first game of the year. I expect big things from him. So,
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the Jared Cook train. I think similarly, to what all you guys have pointed out throughout the podcast. I mean, he's going to be in that trio of important Saints receiving threats beside Alvin Kamara and Mike Thomas. And Ted Ginn will have his looks as well. And I'm sure there will be another guy that earns Brees' trust or steps up. Or hell, if they don't, somebody will be traded for. I stand by that. I think one way or another they will find somebody else to make plays to help that group. But for right now, Jared Cook's going to be very important. So far, all we've really seen is some of the plays that he did early, or some of the plays that he made earlier in training camp. So I'm interested to see, because I haven't heard anything about his health, and I just wonder if they've just been trying to keep things under wraps for the regular season. I think Sean has some shit in his bag, and
Better clean that thing.
Yeah, I think Jared will have a wonderful game. The Texans weren't very good at guarding tight ends last year. I think that they were like bottom 5 in the league as is, and I don't think that they're going to get much better this year. So, I mean, I could see Jared Cook out totaling Mike Thomas in receiving yards. Probably not reception, because Mike, he's a walking catch. But I could see him out totaling Mike Thomas in receiving yards and getting a couple touchdowns as well.
Hey, can I just say something before you go, Brian?
No.
You mentioned Cooks being under wraps. Well, the player that we haven't talked about, he's so under wraps that he actually wound up on the practice squad.
I swear to God.
Oh, boy. You find a way to fit that in.
Okay, you go, Brian.
You're going to give Chris an aneurysm week 1. I'm here for it, though. I'm actually going to take a defensive guy. I think Cam Jordan. I think he's going to get 2+ sacks, and I think he's going to completely wreck the Texans' running game. And if they're not able to run the ball, which I don't think they will be, I think the game will be closer early, but I think the Saints are going to pull away late, and I think Cam Jordan is going to be the reason why.
Yeah, buddy. Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
Last topic, guys. No caveats. Just 2 letters. Who's getting the L? Who's getting a dub? Patrick?
Okay, that's only letters. You said only letters?
Well, yeah. Wins and losses, L's and W's.
Okay, so no score prediction. I just want to make sure.
I mean, you can do one if you want.
Okay. Well, that's
But
good.
we're gonna find a way. We're gonna be tracking these predictions throughout the season, and whoever
Okay.
comes in last is going to face a penalty. We haven't figured out what that penalty will be. Will probably be the other two members of the podcast get to change their Twitter handle and picture for the week. But whoever's wrong the most is going to regret it. So you might not want to handicap yourself with scores.
Okay. I agree to take a risque photo shoot as punishment. I'm going to say final score prediction is 45-17 Saints.
All right.
I have the Saints winning as well. I'm going for 34-24.
Okay.
All right. Since we're going to do scores, we'll have some fun with this. I'm going to say 38-17 Saints.
Ooh.
Okay.
You guys.
What was your score,
Brian?
Chris?
Beating the hell
What's
out
your
of
game, Brian?
You got us having us beating the shit out of Houston, huh? I like it.
Oh, yeah, beat the brakes off him. What was your score, Chris? I want to make sure I get it down.
I'm at 34-24.
All right. And I said 38-17. And which means it's probably going to be 38-24, and I'm going to be mad, but that's okay. As long as the Saints get the W. All right, so that's going to wrap us up for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to be doing this every week going forward. Same topics every week. And keep in mind, give us 5-star reviews on iTunes. It helps more people find the show. We really appreciate it. Also, that's a great way to get in questions. And also, you can send us questions when we do the post-game reaction show, which comes right after the game. I'll be sending it out every week. So anything you guys send on that is just going to be live, uncut. We're just going to be reacting to whatever happens. So we're going to have some fun this year. Hey, yo,